Hey y'all, what's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new episode of Give the Sense 92, giving you guys the latest and exclusive content on new music, entertainment news, and inspiration quotes by me. The Queen's back. All right, so guys, I've been waiting to do this video for a long time, and it's about time. So I'm going to talk about there needs to be a return of R&B pop nostalgia, uh, black boy bands, period. Now, I definitely really am very excited because if you look at my channel, Give Since 92, um, check out Give Since 92, the Artist Diaries, Mindless Behavior. Now, this is pretty much, I'm going to do this because I'm a huge Mindless Behavior fan. I grew up with black boy bands, the Jackson Five, the Jacksons, New Edition, Boys to Men, Drew Hill, Jodeci, B2K, B5, and check out B5, the Artist Diaries, Get Since 92 B5, because this is why. Now be prepared to pull up to your seats, grab your popcorn, get your drinks, because I'm sick of it, period. And I'm tired because I feel there has been an absence for groups overall. And I do promote girl groups on my channel. Okay. It's also time for the black boy bands to come through. And they need to come through and they need to snatch. And we're talking about boy bands, black boy bands. We have existed for years. People forgot, just like the girl groups. People really forgot black girl groups, same thing. But it's going to be a special section for the boy bands as well because the black boy bands were very creative. They had their innovation, high caliber of talent, that high substance. And literally, what needs to happen is they need artist development. It has to happen. Now, we talk about stage presence, and I feel like each guy is his own individual, but as a group, because when we think about boy bands, the ones that I've mentioned, they had that chemistry, they had a sound. It was okay to be different, unique, stand out from each other. And they also knew the foundation of music. Regardless of what sound genre, they were able to cross over. And literally, for black boy bands to come back, they're going to have to do a lot of sacrifice. They're going to have to be very selfish, get into that artist development mode, have ideas, write the music, be songwriters, and learn and study the music business. Because this is what I feel that really, since Mind's Behavior was the last black boy band mainstream, how many years has it been? Exactly. It can happen again. I believe it because I do. But even with this oversaturation of the mumble, the rap, the hip hop is dominating right now. Now, they can still exist, but I feel because that high caliber of talent, they're gonna have to be like undercover, sweeping through the rug. No one knows who they are, which is great. That's cool. And they're gonna have to just do them, be themselves, recreate a new sound, have that nostalgia. Also, the boy bands that paved the way for them, I don't care. Study the ones that they did do their thing in music because they're the blueprint. They made it out. So they're going to be able to do the same thing for themselves in the next generation. Because really, I don't really feel that, especially with mainstream, they're not used to talent. So for a black boy band, they're just gonna have to study the sounds of music. Don't just stick to doing R&B pop music. Please do not stick to doing R&B pop music. Do hip hop, do pop, do dance music. The reason why it has been done before. And I feel that for a new generation of black R&B pop and nostalgia, that's why I say nostalgia, just you do different genres, not just R&B pop. Because really, when I listen to, this is going to get really interesting. I listen to the radio every once in a blue moon, and I have to be honest, you got these rappers. They are singing in ways if they're in a boy band or in a boy group, and they're not. And really, the mumble rappers, the influences of the sounds of, this is my personal opinion, because how like the ad libs and the harmonies, rappers that emulate, that's fine, but that drowning autotune, you don't really hear vocals. There are rappers that can wash up everything. You have rappers that actually can sing. They can sing like they had that melodic appeal, that natural ability to sing, the tone, the delivery, the vocal style. And I just really feel that for these Black Army boy bands, just be themselves. Don't use no autotune. Please don't. No, because we're going to hear who's who, vocal ability. I'm telling you, and people, they forget. They tend to freaking forget talent does exist. But this music industry is rigged. Even the musicians don't study. I know they have to focus on the Black boy bands, but it's very important. Yes. The reason why, because I grew up listening to the Jackson 5, the Jacksons. Their hit records. They had substance. They had stamina. They can sing and dance at the same time. Very versatile with, their content. Um, Breaking barriers in music by just creating different sounds. They set trends. And I feel like, in my honest opinion, I don't really think, really, from my personal, this is my personal opinion. I don't really think mainstream, they don't, it's always BS, racial barriers in music, because Black musicians, they've always had that versatility in their music, their sound. So Jackson, the Jackson 5 Jacksons, they had their opportunity, Motown, we know, and they did the daggone thing. They slayed, snatched, really crossed over, not just from R&B pop, but dance music. So they're gonna have to study a group like the Jackson 5, the Jacksons. There will never be another Jackson 5, the Jacksons. But what I'm saying is that, how they were, people underestimated them. Same thing with New Edition. New Edition came from what? Boston, Massachusetts. Jackson 5 Jackson, they came from Gary, Indiana. So they kicked the door, did the damn thing, New Edition, inspired by, it's the same thing. They kicked the door, the same thing. So really, Boys to Men, I love Boys to Men. I love Boys to Men as well. Because I think Boys to Men, they had that really nice R&B, soul, hip hop, but they were more like that contemporary R&B pop musicians. Like they had like that musicianships. They could really sing, and it was okay to actually, when it comes down, I know how people say, well, like singing abilities and vocals, they didn't even try so hard. You can hear the chemistry, the passion. You can hear it's natural talent. And same thing, Drew Hill, Jodeci. So I feel what really happened was mainstream start to get really, they start to get shady. Um, I also feel that not only that, music change constantly. The shift in music, the tide, the wave, the Black boy bands that were able to withstand and have longevity. Even the Black boy bands from the 70s, like the Isley Brothers, Earth, Wind, Fire. Oh man, I love the Isley Brothers and Earth, Wind, Fire. They experiment with their music as they had the same nostalgia, regardless of the era of the decade. But they were able to find a sound and run with it. They and even in the 70s, a lot of the Black male boy groups, they dominated. They sure did. So I was like, wow. And then Kool and the Gang. Kool and the Gang, I love Kool and the Gang. Kool and the Gang came out in the 70s. So it really, the up and coming new ones, they just gonna have to follow the tradition, right? The formula, the basis of like artist development. Yes, artist development. And really, you know what I really would love to see them do with that artist development? They're gonna have to practice, rehearse. They also have to explore different sounds of music. And I think different sounds of music is going to give them confidence with knowing just because we're black boy bands, we can cross over because it has happened before. So even like in the early 2000s, when B2K came out, oh man, I'm going to do this B2K Artist Diaries. And I'm so freaking livid. I'm happy. I'm very excited with so much enthusiasm, but I'm livid, period. Because I'm going to give you guys the Artist Diary B2K. Y'all deserve it. They deserve their flowers, period. Because I grew up when B2K came out, they came out around like 2001. I listen to B2K's music 24/7. I do. Um, and even listening to their music, they're another black boy band that they're the blueprint because even the early 2000s, it was a new decade, a new era of music. And the music was more of that traditional style of R&B pop nostalgia with hip hop. So they were able to find their sound and they could sing and dance. Now, I understand, like I said, every boy group is unique. That's not the issue. The issue is making sure you stay consistent promoting your music. That's what B2K. I think B2K also had a great run too, but I kind of feel personally as a fan they should put out more albums. But when y'all get this B2K diaries, y'all know y'all will see why I am livid. Period. But I feel that B2K's legacy, and I feel that people undermine them in ways because, like I said, there are some things going on in the water. But they really had the promotion like 1/6 in Park, TRL. So I feel that for up and coming black boy bands, they need to find the music platforms to the space to promote their music. They need to do that because I feel that for black boy bands to coexist, yes, social media is important. They just gonna have to freaking like come through and they can connect with their fans. Be creative, do the live stream. Sometimes um you can, get on like you they have to have music resources. And this is the thing when I'm really pissed off about because really I think that and this is not just like I said, this is not about music crossing all walks of life. B5, B5 or another, I feel they're legends and icons as well. Their legacy. Because people, when B5 came out in what, 2000 and what, 5 ish? Yeah, I remember when B2K came out. Oh my goodness, they snatched. But anyway, what needs to happen is the resources for black boy bands to really utilize, and it's a cutthroat music industry. Just make sure you know your worth. Make sure they know what they're capable of. That's it. And really, I feel like the limited resources too. I think that they need to really be independent musicians from the ground up because that way they can have control of their artistry and make sure when they do put out music, I don't care what music producer they work with. I'm just saying they're gonna have to have like a strategy, a game plan, a market. And they're no different from the boy bands that are currently existing right now. And no disrespect, But there is a difference in promotion and marketing. It depends on who you are as an artist. As I see BTS, they're talented. They got their own thing. I'm not a huge BTS fan. I've heard their music on the radio. I'm like, okay, cool. Now, they have a machine behind them. They have people in their circle. They got people that they can promote their freaking music. They promote, they are consistent with it. Yeah, that's all it is to it. I don't see what's the issue. You know why? What's the freaking issue? I tell you why. What's the freaking issue? I tell you why. There's some a-holes up in the circle, up in the pond. And I hate to say this, we need to see black boy bands come through, period. There's diversity in music. They should be able to get the same treatment, the same, opportunities. The only thing that, and I also, and like I said, and BTS, there was a magazine that I saw where there's a magazine that I saw where they've been a group for 10 years, and we've had the Jackson 5, the Jacksons, New Edition, um, Drew Hill, Jodeci, Earth, Wind, Fire, the Isley Brothers. They've done it. So also that goes back to B2K, B5. They have released 2 albums, both successful, just like the rest of the boy bands that came before them. And before anybody come at me and talk about like want to get all shady and stuff, that's fine. You can have your 2 cents. But my thing is, I was pretty much the same thing with Mind's Behavior, 2 albums. I pretty much feel it's a curse because just 2 albums, really 2 albums, you really should be putting out at least 5 albums, at least 5. But if you want to go further, that's cool. After 5, that's fine. Because I feel like people, they just and like I said, B2K and B5, they went through things in the music industry. Now, let's when I do this B2K, the Artist Diaries, I'm probably gonna cry. So, but you see where I'm coming from. Yeah, and they just need to look out, watch, protect themselves. Their management. They're gonna have to have a management. Now, this is where I'm coming from. I'm not saying about any old manager. I'm not saying that, but they're gonna have to have management that they got common sense as well. They have to look, and because really, I kind of feel like that the music industry right now is changing. So I feel it's going to happen again in the next 10 years. R&B black boy bands come back. I feel it's going to come back. I believe it. Because I think by the next 10 years, or even a little bit over 10 years, they're going to come back. It's going to take a while. The music is oversaturated with this mumble pop trap music. Now, as far as I'm concerned, they need to freaking write their music, period. Be creative. Songwriters, you know, get a publishing deal. Don't give that. Well, I've heard like, don't give your publishing away. Be more, just have more of that protection of your brand, your imagery, your artistry, and um, what also needs to happen with their music, the production. It can have that enigma. It can have that flavor, that grittiness, because I want to see it all. The dynamic, like more of like, okay, yeah, we can pop into pop dance music. We can put a pop dance record out that with R&B influences. It has happened plenty of times. So when they put out their singles, they're gonna have to make sure. I don't care, R&B, hip, whatever. Promote the single and Make sure whatever single they put out, that's the single. Okay? Because really, that like how, okay, B2K, when they put out their first single, uh-huh. Yeah, that record, they came swinging out the bat with that record because that record just something new, different, fresh. They set trends, R&B, pop. It's more of a like a up tempo dance record. B2K, they're amazing singers and dancers in the group. B5, they came out with All I Do, a ballad, R&B, soul, nostalgia. They came swinging out the back. So it doesn't matter. So whatever single that they do and wherever the feel, it has to be right. Come through, kick it off right off the bat, and promote. And please, please, please promote. Get book these shows, book these performances, do interviews here and there. It's okay. You have to promote, but to me, it's too much of this daggone social media sensation BS. I don't want. I focus on the music. Yeah, you can get personal with some things. So of course you want to get to know who they are, but just focus on the music and promote and just promote the music because I feel like people they forget. They tend to forget. Like we've in we've entered a new era of music. So also, what I also want them to do, even touring, I don't care. They could be a small tour, book the stage, interact with the fans, meet and greets, cool. Their team, the management, and also like they gotta, have that initiative as well. So it's like it goes two ways, like how you have to just sometimes if you know if something ain't right, or communication, like, wait a minute, this needs to be done. Or constructive criticism. This can be handled better, blah blah blah. That's fine. But we're going to have to make sure that, as far as I'm concerned, and this is what I want, I just want for to bring back that nostalgia music. Just dominate for themselves. There's room for all of them, neck and neck. They can do collaborations. Also, and I was going to talk about that too. Also, study solo artist musicians. Like it doesn't matter who it is, black, white, whatever. Because I freaking feel that this mumble rap trap era is going to go away. It's going to be a new era of music, new sounds, and I don't feel, especially with this current of like mumble rappers, they're not I'm not being, like I said, I'm not being prissy about it. I'm just saying, all I freaking hear is the same old the mainstream. So we need to hear the black boy bands come back, no matter who they are. You know, I definitely would love to see a rock and roll band come back, young, fresh. They study the greats. Like yeah, like they come back. They have a sound, the attire, and also I also love the imagery. I like more of like that edginess, that badass, that mystiqueness, and that flair to it, and a mystery, And really, a lot of times, this is the reason why, even with record labels now, I personally feel independent labels that way they can really, really just snatch and dominate. And they don't need to have a record label to tell them. It's really excruciating that this is not the single, but this is a single worthy. It doesn't matter. I don't care what climate of music. This is the freaking issue. I don't care what climate of music. This is the issue because I don't really think people are really coming through with that. Yes, I understand it's a new like era of music. You have to keep up with the trends. But when you have set your own trends, you're supposed to like, yo, it is single worthy. It can like really, it does fit in today's music market. And this is the issue that I have. The marketing. So they all have to have the right marketing. Look at BTS. They've been in like what the music industry for what? Celebrating 10 years. You know why? I tell you why. Their music, like I said, they do have an audience. They stay consistent with the promotion. They are marketing their social media, of course, that's fine. But I don't see, like I said, it's a lot of that um biasness when it comes to, black musicians, and I'm tired of it. I'm really tired of it. I'm really, really tired of it. Especially when they don't have to be put in the box. They got it all. That's how most of the black musicians that came up in the music game is like, listen, I'm not gonna just only do R&B. I'm not just only gonna do pop. I'm not gonna just only do hip hop. I'm gonna do it all. Whatever sounds, moves, and music, I'm just gonna do it all. Also, their fans, they have a solid fan base, take the ball and run with it because fans do make a difference. I don't care. You got that daggone freaking social media. Your fans does make a difference. They do make a difference. Okay. Fans do make a difference. You buy the music, you support the music, you go and do it. And I feel also what needs to happen is even when they promote their music, management get on Jimmy Kimmel Live, get on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, interviews. Now, I personally feel certain radio stations that they can promote their music, don't get on any old radio station. Please don't, because I'm tired. Because I've seen it. Because you got these like whack radio stations, they're real NARC. They ain't really promoting the music. You have to go to like positive places, other places, like positive places to get your resources, because sometimes you're not going to get the resource in your own, which is jacked up. But like I said, never give up, period, because there, it's diversity. So promote and go from there. And what else I was getting ready to say? What else I was getting ready to talk about? Yeah. So um it could be like even in their hometown, same thing, promoting their hometown no matter where they come from, because that way, that is going to give them a push as well where people are, okay, this is a talented black boy band coming from wherever in their hometown, and get the positive, right, BADASS resources. That's great. um Even promoting their music on the news or going on interviews on the news word segment. And this is what I love, like even the Today Show, Good Morning America. Those are very important. You maybe they hey, listen, they got the whole 9 yards. They'll be underrated, it happens, but you got to think like if you can have a big machine. So like, don't let your circumstances, what they always say. Exactly, right? So, with that being said, um, yeah, it's time. I really, they need to come through. They have to. And this is what I'll do. I think by that time, years go down the road, I would love to see them really come back. Really, really come back. So, with that being said, um, also, we just know we just gonna need it. We need for them to freaking exist. They do exist. The thing is, that this music industry is so cutthroat and selfish, so they're gonna have to be selfish. That's the only way you gotta do it, guys. That's it. So that being said, who are your favorite black boy band groups that you guys grew up with? And are you ready for more black boy bands to get into the music game? And what would you like to see? And let's have a discussion down below. So with that being said, guys, stay tuned next episode of Since 92. Like, share, comment, subscribe down below. Hit that subscribe button, hit the notification button, and as always, stay tuned on the next episode of Get Since 92, Dragon Ball Z Narrator Reference. Peace, bye bye. Your girl's exiting out. The Super Saiyan's out.